A good friend of Rocco, who Rocco met on the spectrum, is Rich Kaplan. And Rich, let's talk about your journey of life. When did you realize you were on the spectrum, and how has it changed your life and your experiences once you found out that you were on the spectrum and had Asperger's?
Certainly. I was diagnosed about 12 years ago, and it has changed my life dramatically because it's allowed me to meet people like yourself, like Rocco, and it's opened up a lot as far as awareness of various social anxieties that I have. I'm not the most socialistic person in the world, despite what people will tell you, but I've come to terms with it. I've come to deal with it. For me, living in Massapequa Park my whole life, I love my town. I love the people in my town. I've come to embrace Massapequa Park as more than just my home, but kind of like a biome in a way for me, because it allows me to express myself. It allows me to come out and to open up to people, share my experiences with people. And I grew up a only child. My parents were very loving. My mother was an accountant. My father was a professor as well as a teacher. So I was their only child, and they were very loving, very supporting, and I'm very blessed to have had them in my life because they gave me the tools to really go out there and embrace life and just share myself with others, and to just be the best that I possibly can. As for my love of aviation, that comes from my father. My father was a navigator in World War II. I stumbled onto some of his stuff, and lo and behold, I ran with it and I fell in love with it. And it's become almost a way of life for me, in the sense that I can look at an airplane, appreciate how it was made, where it came from, the people who operate it, and just love it. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that.
I know that your friendship with Rocco has been great for both of you on the spectrum. But for the people out there watching, talk about your friendship with Rocco and how special it's been in your life.
It's very special. Rocco and I go way, way back. And the funny thing is, when I met him in the group, he was you knew right away he was very different from everybody else, in the sense that he's outspoken, he speaks his mind, he knows what he's talking about, very articulate, very to the point, and you knew that there was a lot that he offers. And as a friend, he's just an amazing person. He's fun to hang out with. You could talk to him about almost anything, and he's really just an awesome person in general. And I'm blessed to have a lot in my life, but to have a friend like Rocco really is a blessing in itself more than anything else, because when you put two Aspies in a room together, you know you're going to get some serious information. You know that you're going to learn a lot and you're going to gain a lot. And I kind of feed off him and he kind of feeds off me, and the energy just goes from there.
Awesome. I want to thank Rocco and Rich for sharing, and Rocco has a final thought. Dealing with adversity, the life's journey. Rocco Pasafumi, Rich Kaplan.
Thank you. I just wanted to real quick kind of interject what I feel about Rich. You know, meeting Rich was a great experience because, you know, when I had Asperger's syndrome, I didn't know a lot of people on the spectrum, but, you know, when I went to the GRASP group and I met him, it was a great experience to meet some, you know, people that were kind of like-minded, like him. And the thing particularly about Rich is wonderful is that he's kind of like, he's older than me, so he's kind of has like a big brother quality, and I was the oldest in my family, so I never really had anybody, you know, outside of my parents to really look up to. So I feel like in that sense, you know, Rich is a great like I feel like because of his, he's had more life experience than me. I really feel like I learn a lot from him. I feel like there's a lot of, things that you don't really realize when you're my age versus when you're Rich's age, and I feel like that kind of knowledge is just invaluable, and I feel like to have that is just in itself a wonderful thing. Plus, Rich is a very fun guy. We're kind of, we coalesce well together, but he and I are kind of a little different in a sense. Like, he's more laid back, and he's more kind of, he's more humorous. And, Rich will tell you, when I met him, the first time I met him, I was not exactly the most loose person in the world. I was very serious, and I wasn't, Rich kind of is of a different sort of person. He's more fun, he's more laid back. So I feel like that kind of, there's like a yin and a yang to what we have. And I feel like that's very, very important to have when you're on the spectrum, is to meet different types of people and to learn from different types of people. And I really feel like he's very, very invaluable with that. So I thank you very much, Richard, for having that and for being part of my life. And, it's just, like I said, it's another many of the many blessings I have, in this life of mine. Thank you.
Thanks to Rich Kaplan, Rocco Pasafumi for sharing, dealing with adversity, life's journey. Great segment.